Yeah, here we are. It's let's see, what day is it? Wednesday. Wednesday today. And there's no van in here, but there is a bunch of doors. And so I've been this week. Hey, welcome back, right? And then anybody new watching, welcome to you. So the doors here, I've been working on them for the last 4 or 5 days, and the first door I went through on the first door and did a whole bunch of show you what I was doing, and then the next doors I just showed you the results. So you don't have to get bored completely with it all. So anyhow, the doors are pretty well ready for paint. Now I'm gonna tomorrow I'll come in and I'll clean up and put down my booth and stuff like that. But that'll be the next video. That'll be in the future. So for this one here, most of the week was, well, most of the last 4 or 5 days, in fact, all of the last 4 or 5 days was sanding and filling on the doors. So, but they look pretty good now, and I'm kind of happy with how they've turned out. They're not perfect, like it'll never ever be a perfect job around here, but for the most part, they look decent, and I'm satisfied. So that's. Hope you enjoyed it all, and please stick around and see what happens. Okay, bye for now. Yeah, it sure is empty in here without a van there. Amazing how much room that thing takes up. So this would be the side door. I have to clean off all this stuff here. Do some body work down here, just like seam filler on there, and then on the flip side, seam filler. The door itself is in pretty good shape. Sand this up here, and the inside is good. This here, I don't know how that's held on there. I'll see if I can figure out how that little thing. I'm going to leave the door latch on it over here. I'm going to leave that door latch on it, tape it up, but the rest of the hardware is on the inside, up underneath there. So I'll worry about that later. Anyhow, I'll get the outside done, and I'll get the what do you call that? Body filler stuff on here to clean that up, and then we'll go from there. There it is. That's cleaned off. I cleaned off all that whatever you call that stuff. It is called Rock Guard, which is my most unfavorite stuff around here. I think I still have some more Rock Guard to clean off on some of this stuff over here. Yeah, the back door's got a bit of stuff on it, but we'll get there. And then now I'll just, for starters, and I got that little plastic thing off of there so I can paint in there. Anyway, for starters, I'll get that seam filler stuff out and clean this. I've got to clean that off with a little bit of that acetone, and then put some seam filler on it, and then I'll turn the door over and do the same on the other side. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, so I've got the seam sealer along here now, and along on that side underneath there. So what'll I do now? I've on the back side, or on the front side, I took 80 grit on the orbital sander and went over the whole thing. On here, I'll just take 80 grit on the orbital sander, and I'll go over the shiny stuff and just sort of clean that stuff off with the. See, even from the factory, they didn't get all that in there. They didn't bother. So I'll do the same idea. I gotta just leave this stuff on here and tape it off, because I don't want to take those door hinges all apart. I did take off part of that door hinge over there, but I don't want to pull all that stuff out of there, because well, number one, it's a pain in the ass, and number two, then I'd have to readjust everything, and I don't really want to do that. Anyhow, there we go. Yeah, there now, this door is set to put on the seam seam sealer. There's a pretty good warp right there, but I'll get that. I'll have to do body, I can't pound on it, so I'll just, a little bit of body filler there to fill it in. And I was able to get the door latch off, and underneath here and underneath here, there's a little bit, tiny bit of surface rust, but that all cleaned up. And the window, it's not going up right, it's not going up and down correctly, so I'll have to take another look at that. Pain. Windows are a pain, hey? Anyhow, I'll get the seam sealer on here and then I'll flip it over and see what's on the other side. Yeah, so working on door number 3. This one here had quite a bit of work on it, welding wise. So I'll just clean it up and get the seam filler or seam sealer on this stuff around here and up around here. But first I'll whatever you call that, I'll get at it with the sander and clean up. There's still some more of that rock guard, and there's still rock guard on that door over there. Oh, there's rock guard everywhere. So I'll get the rock guard off and then I'll get after it. What I do, I first get the rock guard off, then I sand it off with 80 grit on the orbital sander, the whole thing, and then I'll put the seam filler in. And then then it's ready for doing body work. Yeah, there now I didn't do a very good job welding this seam here. I think I did some hammering on it and it cracked it. That seems all right. And that seems all right. So I'll just fix this. I'll fix this up and then carry on. Yeah, there I've got the seam sealer on this thing here. It says metal to metal. What do you call this stuff? Metal to metal reinforced body filler for metal surfaces. So they say that to put this on over all the welds, and it'll seal the welds because it's waterproof, and it'll also fill any little pinholes that you've missed out on, which is okay with me. So there, and then just do normal body work over the top of it with Bondo or a good quality of body filler, right? So that's enough for today, and I'll if I did it all in one day, then I'd have nothing to do tomorrow, eh? So I better come back tomorrow. See you then. Oh yeah, March 24th, and don't you know, we did get that snow last night, eh? But I've got it cleaned up and everything is ready to go back to work, right? Okay, here I go. Yeah, seam filler. So that's the, what is it? That's the side door and the driver's side door. This is the back door. Did it, seam filled. I haven't done the back side of it yet, and I've got a little tiny bit to do right here. So, and then I have to do that door there. It still has some, down at the bottom of the door, you can see that, what do you call that? Rock guard. I can't remember the name because I don't like the stuff. Anyway, but I've sanded down everything to like a 80 grit on the, whatever you call that, with the orbital sander. And that takes the shine off of all of this old paint and stuff, but the old paint seems to be fine. So I'm not going to go down to bare metal. And this stuff here, I'll have to do like a little bit of body filler in that kind of stuff there to level it out again, because it's got 3 or 4 layers of everything on there. And sand it up, and then we'll be good. I could like to feather it out pretty good with the big sander. We'll just see. I'll see what I do before I do any body work. Before I do any body work on them, I'll sand this stuff off with the block sander and see if I can flatten that stuff out and see how it looks. Anyway, that's pending, so I'll get back at it with this one here, doing more seam filling, and then get that one there seam filled. Then I'll start at the beginning again and start body work.
There we go. I'm onto the passenger door now. I've got to get rid of this rock guard. See what's underneath there. And otherwise, I think the door's okay. Like, I don't see any repairs on it anywhere. So then I'll sand it up and see what we get.
Yeah, so now I've cleaned off all that stuff on here, and then there was a little tiny speck of rust right there, so I just drilled it out, and I'll fill that in with, I'll weld it in. And there was a tiny speck of rust here, but it was very on the surface. I didn't even drill through, and it's gone. So I'm just going to let the body filler look after that. And then otherwise, I'll sand it off and get to work at seam filler. Yeah, there, that little hole is plugged up. It'll be good. Now I'll go after the, well, I got to clean it with acetone and then get after it with, hardly can tell where that weld is along there, but there's a little bit of a warp in it here. Anyhow, that's nothing I can do about it because there's solid behind. Anyway, I'll carry on. Yeah, so now I forgot to sand it off before I put the seam filler in. Anyway, that's all right. I'll just let that dry and then I'll sand the thing off and do the body work on it at the same time. So I'll move this up over there to the holding pen, and then I'll move the driver's door over here and see if I can fix up the outside body work. Yeah, I figure while I'm doing it, I might as well tape up the windows. That way I don't have to worry about getting crud all over them to start with, and then getting paint all over them to end with. So now I'll go ahead and give it a block sand. I think all that metal looks all right. I didn't see any dents in there, and they'd show up on the sanding if there were some. I still have to get in here with just a hand, and like down in that area there needs to be sanded, but do that with a finger. And now down into here, what I did yesterday was I'll block sand this and then body fill it.
There you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, there the compressor finally stopped, so anyhow, low area here, low area here, low area here. So I'll get the rubber gloves out and get cracking on that. First I'll wipe it off with some acetone. I'll just do that while you're watching. I'm not going to worry about that area yet. I'll get this stuff here looked after. Yeah, so follow the instructions from the box, from the can, on how to mix it. Make sure you mix it well. Yeah, here I am back again. I'll do this little corner down here. I ran the straight edge across here, and right in here is still low. There, I'll let that dry, and then I'll go after the sanding and all that.
So there now, I've got it, like, if you look now, it's pretty close to the right level. You can't see light, a little bit high right here now, but I'll get that with a block sander. So the block sanders, next I'll do block sanding on it. This side here, it's still got, that side there is low. That side over here a little bit low, but we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, that stuff takes about 20 minutes or 30 minutes to harden. So it's workable, and then it's pretty flat across there now. See what happens with the big guy here. Yeah, there, I just moved the offending thing down the hose a ways. Yeah, so the low spots are pretty obvious here. Right there, right there, right there, right there. I'll mark them with a pencil. See, here's the metal coming up. Mark it with a pencil and right here, and a little bit low there. Otherwise, it starts to look good. That's good there, and that one's good there. So there. Hang on, I'll just get my pencil out and mark them up. Yeah, so a low spot is in here. In there. And there's a little bit right there, a little bit right there. Not sure what that is, but I'll put a bit of putty on that to smooth it out. Low spot right here, and a low spot right at the edge of that. So I'll take those spots for starters, maybe right here. And then I'll put more bodywork on it. So those things coming along all right though. Oh, here we go again.
Well, there now, I'll have a go at it again. Have to put on my mask.
On it again. Now you saw me mark the low spots, I think. There's a piece of dirt in there. Oh, I hate it when I get a piece of dirt in there. Low spots are getting less. There, that's, I'll leave that till tomorrow and come out and sand it some more tomorrow. Anyhow, that's it for today. See you later. Yeah, here I am back at it. I'll just get this set up to be looking at the door. Anyhow, I'm going to keep on working on this one, and then I won't do any other doors. I'll just show you the results. Yeah, that kind of stopped me. But there now, this here, it's a bit high here. I can feel a lump in it. But it's a high spot, low spot, high spot. So I'll give it some more sanding before I put more goop into it. There, I think it's pretty good now. After that last batch, I'll go over and a bunch with this thing here. That's just, maybe I'll put new sandpaper on here, right? Pretty nice. Yeah, so there you are. That's actually pretty good. A little nick right there I'll fix. A little nick right there, and two nicks that are just like air pockets in the finish. But there you go. The horizon looks pretty good. Anyhow, and there's like my pencil line that I came back down to, and a pencil line here that I came back down to, pencil line here that I came back down to, so it's all, and right here, pencil line that I came back down to. So I filled in all those holes that I thought were there, and boy, that feels nice now. So I'll mix up a little tiny batch and fix that and that, and just fix these little nick holes here, and then we'll call it good. Yeah, I meant to film that, but there, while that's drying, I'll do the sandpaper work by hand around the edges there. And you can see here that big sander leaves a few scratches in the finish, so you got to go down with a smaller grade, or whatever you call it, smaller grit, larger grit, be smaller but a bigger number, eh? So I'll go ahead and I'll finish up around here, and then I won't bore you with those details. Then I'll just start showing you the results as I get the doors done.
Yeah, there now, that side is, I think, pretty near ready for a coat of paint. Feels nice. And that's all down to 320. I sanded the whole thing by hand with 320, a little bit more sanding to do right there. And all the shiny bits are gone. So now I'll just sand that little bit there. Then I'll turn it over and clean up the other side and get it ready for paint. Yeah, okay, so here I am quite a bit later. And this side here is ready for paint. So that's door number one, driver's door, right? This was all oily and greasy and yucky in there, but it's mostly cleaned up now. And I cleaned in around here with, what do you call that stuff? Spray 9 and a toothbrush. Had to grind the toothbrush to make it fit. Anyway, there we go. That'll be, and I just put a piece of paper in there to keep that mechanical stuff from getting sprayed. Otherwise, it's all set to go. So I'll let it be at that. Yeah, so here's the back door now. And that's just the first coat of Bondo, or not really Bondo. What's it called? Moto Master, Mastic Leisure. In French, always the French side first, right? Moto Master lightweight body filler. There you go. Yeah. This is the side door, not the back door. I thought it looked kind of funny for being a back door. Anyway, back door is over there. So we'll just carry on. Yeah, so I searched out and found the low spots here, and then that's coat number 2 on there. And then I'll leave it for tonight because it's quitting time. And I'll come back at it tomorrow and see how it goes. See you tomorrow. Yeah, here's where I left it hanging yesterday. So now I'll just get the big guy out and sand that off, and then carry on getting it flattened out and looking good.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll take 2 of this, and anyhow, these I've marked out the little. Can you see that circle with the pencil mark there? Pencil mark here, pencil mark here. Now these areas are a little bit low. This one here, like, it's only not even a 1/16 of an inch low. You can just see, you just barely see the air underneath that straight edge when it comes down there. So a tiny bit of filler to make that right. And we'll see where we go from there.
Whoops, there we go. I'm going to call this side ready for paint. Seems to be pretty good. I just sanded back down to my pencil lines, and the inside is okay. Might be a little, just like, see this stuff here? Maybe just a little tiny bit of body filler just to fill those little holes and stuff. Would be a good idea. So I better do that, or else I'll be disappointed later. Yeah, there it is. The feels pretty nice and smooth now. And even though I did fill in those holes, they're back again, or you know, just little tiny pinhole things. I think the paint will fill them, but I could chase that for the rest of my life, I think. Anyhow, there we go. I think I'm pretty happy with it now. I'll do a little bit more sand right there, just to see what happens. And a little bit more sand right there. Yeah, there, a little bit of sanding seemed to solve it. You can barely see anything there now. And the same thing here. Okay, that's good. I think that this side of the door is ready for paint. And I'll turn it over and see what I can do about the other side of the door. Oops, there I go again. This one is ready for the paint on the inside now too. So I go around and I just scuff up all the existing paint on it and make the shine go away. For most of it, some of it in this, right? And then the new paint will stick to that, we hope. But I have to go on the whole thing and do like rinse it off with acetone and then tack cloth and all that kind of stuff. So that's 2 doors done. Yay, 2 down. 2 more to go. See what happens. Here we are. Now it's this is the next project for tomorrow. This one's not too bad. The little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, and no big bends in it. No warps, anything like that. So that's not bad at all. And the other side, I'll just so I'll be able to get that sorted out tomorrow, and get the other side sorted out tomorrow. And then this one here is the last one, which is, maybe I'll save the worst for last day, who knows. Because this one here was quite a long time ago that I was fixing on that door in the back of the van. And it's a door. Anyhow, there we go. So I'll just see you tomorrow, and I'll get this one done. Yeah, so here I am, back at it. This door, this would be passenger door, right? Actually in pretty good shape. There wasn't much wrong with this door. So I taped up the window, and now I just have to, I'll take the big guy here, sand that off, then I'll sand all this stuff down, then I'll start putting body work to it there. There and there and there. Okay. There, now that side's pretty near ready for a painter. That looks pretty good there. And then there were just little gouges in the paint here, so I did some body filler on it. And up there was a little dent there, like a parking lot dent. And then I did 320 grit paper all over it. A couple of little shiny spots left. I'll get them later. And so it looks pretty good. I'll turn it over and get the other side ready, and then attack that door. There we are. Here I am. I got mostly everything taped up here now. I should put a little bit of tape on that nut there. Then this thing here, I got it off on the other side, but I couldn't get it off on this side. It just didn't want to wreck it, so I left it on there. Still getting spiders out. Here's some spiders. Hey, spiders. Oh well. And then I taped up the window, and so now it's just a matter of getting it sanded down and cleaning up over here. This just takes a little bit of sanding to bring this back down to looking decent, and that'll be fine. And then a bunch of cleaning up with what do you call that stuff? Spray 9. Spray 9 cleans everything. So I'll get that tomorrow, because it's pretty well quitting time today. And meanwhile, while I was working on that stuff, I figured I'd fix up my thing here, whatever you call this thing. It's a bead breaker, mead maker. Bead maker? Yeah, maybe. So this part here was wore out, so I re-tapped it to this size, and I put another nut on top, so it's got more thread available that won't rip out of there. Now I've got a couple of pieces of steel that I'm just going to put along here that'll reinforce it to keep it from make it so it won't bend so easily. Now I think I'll run that one right along the top here. I'll run another one right along here so there's room to be able to put it in the vise, and then I'll run a little piece up in here and see if that'll stop it from, like when you've got it tightened down, it bends back and forth on you there. So I'll see if I can solve that a little bit. I don't often use metal longer than this, so I should just put a piece down here. Maybe I'll do that some other time though, but we'll see. Yeah, anyway, that's enough for today. I did go ahead and do some welding on this thing here, and it is really nice and easy to weld on this heavy steel. You really can, you can lay the heat to it and it doesn't bother it. So I've got that welded on, this welded on, and then I have to, this one here needs to be welded on yet. That's for tomorrow. Anyway, that's all for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Yeah, here I am back at it. Kind of a late start. It's 3 o'clock already. I had, so I went to town and had to go to town to get a new hose for my hose here because it started leaking yesterday. So that's got new hose on there, and it happens to be on sale at Princess Auto today, plus a few other things. Like I've always had trouble keeping a light working out here. I don't know why. But I put a motion sensor light up here, and it was off and on, blinking in snowstorms. So this one here is a dawn to dusk light. I'll just see how that works out. I do have an off switch, so I can turn it off if I don't like it on dawn to dusk, and I can just use it in the dark. Then, what else? Yeah, there now. Doesn't that look like the scene out of a B movie there, hey? That's the dawn to dusk light there. And it sure does light it up, hey? Anyway, seems to work. Yeah, I guess I should have said dusk till dawn. Hey, there you go. Then, what else? That's about all. A couple other little things, but nothing serious. So, that's put together. Now I'll go back at this and see if I can get this looked after and get the last door up here. Yeah, that's got the first coat of that body putty on there, and it's on pretty thick. I'm gonna, do quite a bit of sanding on it to bring it back down. But we'll see how it works out. That's pretty near it for today too, because it's like past 5 o'clock. But I did finish up welding on this while I was waiting for that stuff to dry. I'll turn it around and see if it actually works any better than it did before. Yeah, there it is, and it definitely puts a nicer bead in now. That's way better than I could get before. And I don't know whether it's just a better screw here that does it all, or whether it's all that reinforcement, but all of the above. I think that seems to work pretty good now. So I suppose, like, if you put a steering wheel on here, it makes it easier to turn, but I don't have a problem with that handle, so I'll just carry on the way I am. Anyhow, there we go. That'll be all for today, and I'll hopefully get it done tomorrow. See you then. Yeah, here I am back at it. On to the last door, the back door. And then I was able to order up all these window seals here today. They're on the way, coming from the United States. Now, last night I left it with a whole bunch of goop on here. Now I sanded most of that off. I really put too much on. And here's this little low spot here, low spot there. That's where I did a bunch of welding there. And along this way, a little bit of the spot there. And low spot in here, and just a little tiny low spot there. So for the most part, it's going to come out and look all right. It won't be perfect, but it'll be actually a lot better than ugly. It'll look pretty good, I think. And then up here, these windows, I've got them pretty near under control. A little bit more filler on there. I don't want to put any more filler in here. Just a little bit more sanding in there. And the same on that side. You see, not really sure what was going on over there. I don't remember. See, it needs more sanding in here. And maybe a bit of filler right there, eh? And a couple of spots here that are just little holes. Then that'll fix that up all right. So I better mark them. I'll take my pencil and mark them because otherwise I forget. Right there, 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 a little bit there. This is kind of iffy right here, but I think just more sanding will help that. So I better mark that one other spot over here that I missed. Right there's a little tiny spot right here. So I'll fill in those spots and then sand it out again and see how things look. There we go. This one here. All feels pretty nice. Even up around this edge here, which was pretty ugly before, but it's not so ugly now. Not perfect, but not it's unugly. So everything is good on this side of it. I'll turn it over, clean up the other side, and then start figuring out how to hang these things up for painting. A little bit of sanding to do right there. Okay, I'll do that and then I'll turn them over. Yeah, there we go. This side here. This side is cleaned up. I just clamp it down to the table there so it doesn't rock back and forth, and I put it on a couple of pads here just to keep it from, being straight onto the 2x4. Now that one's done. That's 4 doors done. Well, how do you like that? So I'll put it over there with a pile and then go from there. Yeah, there's the done doors over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 doors. Who would have known? That was a little bit of a marathon of sanding there, but it seems to be pretty good now. So that's, I think I'll cut this video here. What day is it? Wednesday today. So, and then I'll do another video when I paint it up, and we'll see how much time it takes for painting it up, and then maybe I'll paint it up and get them onto the car in one video. We'll just see. Anyhow, so that'll be tomorrow, maybe. I'll get started on, well, I got to clean up in here. I'll let all the dust settle in here and then clean it up and get my paint booth down again. Hey? Okay, so that's it for this episode, and hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for more painting. Hey, there you go. Yeah, here it is. Where am I? March 26th, Sunday. Now Buster's in the woods there. I don't know, you can't see him anyway, but he's in there chasing after something or other. Here he comes. Oh, fall into the pond, right? Anyway, kind of a blustery day today, and it's a grim day. There's going to be a storm brewing out here today and tonight. Looks like it's been rowdy out on the water there anyhow. And pardon the wind, but it's a blowing. Yeah, so there it is. Blustery day today. Storm coming in tonight. The last one didn't even have a chance to melt yet. Oh well. So I'll see you next time. That's your March 26th Buster report.